Welcome to Solent Sports News. I'm Robert O'Hanlon and this is your 4:30 p.m. update. Southampton will be looking for their first win in A when they travel to Everton tonight. Saints haven't won since their last trip to Merseyside in January when they beat Liverpool at Anfield. A win for Everton will see the Toffees move to within 2 points of the top four with a game in hand. Takumi Minamino and Oriol Romeu added to the growing list of injury concerns, with the latter a particular concern for Ralph Hasenhüttl.
Uh, it's a big loss, that definitely, from his personality and everything. But it is how it is. What can I do? I cannot make it unhappen. So we have to make the other strong, who steps in for him, and this is my job. And not wish him all the best.
Barcelona have confirmed in the last hour that Spanish police have raided their headquarters this morning. It is believed several people have been arrested during the incident. The operation was believed to be in relation to Barçagate, where former club officials paid media companies to slander both current and former players. This comes less than a week prior to the club's upcoming presidential elections. The FA confirmed last week that non-league football season will be curtailed for those at Step 3 and below. Although fans and teams are itching to get this season done, many young players have just had an uninterrupted start to their career. Sam Clark reports.
It has been quite some time since a ball has been kicked at any level below the National League. And with the latest news coming out of the FA stating it will be another inconclusive end to the season, the challenge for Wessex League sides remains trying to find positives after two very frustrating seasons.
I feel that this season sort of shot us while we were getting into a bit of a stride. But then on the flip side of it, I am someone who would always try and look at positives, because I think if something's been done, there's nothing you can do. And we've got now a bunch of players that were 17, 18, that will now be 18, 19 with half a season behind them. And that will be able to be brought into next season.
While both seasons were ended prematurely, the wording behind the FA's statement was quite different to last campaign, which has led to much speculation as to what it could actually mean for the future.
The FA have said, yeah, that's right, we're not going to finish the season, we're going to curtail it. But what they haven't said is that they're going to null and void everything, they're going to remove results. They haven't said that. Actually, they've kind of hinted at they might look at promoting teams somehow or doing something to restructure the non-league pyramid, which has always been something in the plan for the last couple of seasons. They want to move leagues around a little bit to make non-league a bit simpler, to make it a bit more regionalised.
This doesn't mean the end of all football at this level for the season, with the prestigious FA Vase set to be finished. 3 Wessex League teams remain in the competition, and despite the chance to play at Wembley on the line, the lack of match practice and fitness has led to mixed feelings heading into the restart.
I think it's great, but it comes with its difficulties. As a group of players, we can't get back together till the start of April, and even getting a game or friendly game in is going to be limited. So how much quality will be on show could be questionable, but I think the effort, the energy, and the desire to win the game will be there in abundance.
For all teams other than the 3 left in the FA Vase, it is now time to look ahead to next season, where we hope the Wessex League will be back and better than ever. Sam Clark, Solent Sports News.
Novak Djokovic has equalled the record for most weeks and number 1 of the men's tennis rankings. The Serbian remained at number 1 following his win at the Australian Open last month. He is guaranteed to beat Roger Federer's record next week, with a spot guaranteed at number 1. Djokovic's focus will now be on Grand Slam wins, with him only 2 behind the current record. The Six Nations is in full swing. The latest round saw Ireland defeat Italy, whilst the game between France and Scotland was postponed. But what happened between Wales and England? Mark Fenner has more.
In the aftermath of this weekend's Six Nations, 2 words have become deeply rooted within the England squad. Self-discipline. Pressure from close rivals Wales led to the Red and Whites conceding 14 penalties, resulting in a 40-24 loss. Coach Eddie Jones pointed out questionable refereeing, but didn't pin that to his team's defeat.
They get points maybe they don't deserve, and we're going to fight hard to get back in the game. You know, there were times we gave away penalties we shouldn't have, we know that. It makes it difficult, and you got to be good enough to overcome that. So we, as I said, they were worthy winners, and we've got to be able to handle those circumstances, as unusual as they might be.
The result is the way it is. We want to focus on what we can do to be better.
At the heart of Saturday's action was Owen Farrell. Throughout the early stages at the Principality, the 29-year-old was involved in multiple exchanges with referee Pascal Garzier. Despite voicing similar concerns of poor officiating, he didn't want to lament on such issues and focused on the positives his team can take into the next game.
What we need to do now is go away and have a look at ourselves and see how we can be better in that area and probably others, but at the same time keep our intent, because like I said, I thought our effort and intent was brilliant today, and it has been over the last couple of weeks in preparation for this game.
So what's next? Talk Rugby Union writer Joe Harvey looks towards the priorities England need to address to get back on track.
There was nothing wrong with physicality, there was nothing wrong with the work rate. It was just the discipline. They gave away 14 penalties over the duration of that game. I think the first 4 might have even been in the first 5 minutes. Something's wrong with the mentality of players to know when they can and can't do that. It's just a calming mindset that's needed, because England do have a lot of experience there.
Twickenham awaits. 12 days of preparation lie ahead before a cagey affair with France. And with the question marks being thrown around about England's attitude on the pitch, the pressure is mounting.
England Rugby has had to come out twice in 24 hours to condemn online abuse from fans. Red and Whites player Ellis Genge received death threats on social media after he was seen not to be clapping the victorious Welsh. This came after they had to come out and support reporter Sonia McLaughlin earlier in the day. Following the announcement from Boris Johnson about how the UK will come out of lockdown, Solent sports teams are now looking as to how they will be able to return. Luke Simcock has more on the story.
It's been a long time since university sports has been played, but with the news of lockdown being eased, there is potential for sports return. Anna Pickard shares her team's excitement on this possibility.
Solent Netball are really excited for the return of sport. We've really missed training and being able to have a little gossip with each other each week. So I know the girls have really missed out on kind of a year's worth of sport. So it'd be really nice to kind of finally get back into it, even if it means just a couple of run-arounds a week. It'd be really, really nice just to get the girls back all in one space. And I think kind of Solent sport as a whole is really good for students and their mental health during these tough times.
Some players have spent very little time together this season, as Solent Basketball's captain explains.
It will help us boost our morale. Obviously, a lot of players are new this year, so we were just getting to know each other before everything got taken away. So getting back into the swing of things, with our relationships with the coaches and the staff, will be very good, and it will help us a lot for next year.
Sport is a great way to socialise, and Emma Louise Precious of Solent Badminton believes a return to play will bring positives to everyone's lives.
It's just so important for us to be able to get back and socialise as well. It's so important not just for your physical health but your mental health as well. Being stuck inside and not being able to leave and go and play the sport that you love has been really challenging for a lot of members of our club. So yeah, returning to the sport, even just in small numbers, will massively boost everyone's morale within the team.
Solent Kestrels picked up 3 wins this weekend as both men and women's sides saw success. The women took a win over youthful Barking Abbey in the early game, while the men took wins at home to Bradford Dragons and an away win at Hemel Storm. The results mean the men are now undefeated in the league for over 2 years. That's all from us today. We'll be back next week with more.